Welcome to your Optimal Personal Economy podcast with Justin Bennett. Your personal economy is your ability to create, protect, preserve, and utilize your wealth, your financial world. Justin will share strategies and stories to help you optimize your personal economy. Now, on to the show with Justin Bennett and co-host Matt Halloran.
Hello and welcome to another podcast of Your Optimal Personal Economy with Justin Bennett. I wanted to talk a little bit today about languaging and languaging as it relates to money, planning, and how people feel when certain words are used. You know, it was this morning that I happened to have playing in the background. It was either CNBC or MSNBC, but I heard what was said this morning, and what they said was the market is set to open down sharply. The market is set to open down sharply. And so when I heard that, if I listened through the ears of a consumer, and I knew that I had money invested in the market, the way that that was language would probably cause me to have a minor heart attack, because not knowing what that exactly meant, but enough to alarm me and make me want to think. And if I was a consumer and heard that and got alarmed, I'd potentially run to my computer and log in and or reach out to my financial professional and start to have questions posed, and the questions are going to probably be from a doubting perspective. And so it just led me to believe that when I think about it from a financial professional perspective, it's so important and so critical to use the appropriate words and language inside the narrative that we speak, so that ultimately the people we serve feel appropriate and feel consistent with what truly is happening. Okay, so now let me just expand on what was said this morning. The market is set to open down sharply. And like I said, I'm sure most consumers, or many consumers, got very scared and frightened. But ultimately, the market opened 50 points down. Yes, it's down. I'm not sure I would use the word sharply in that context. Nonetheless, the media did use down sharply. But just to kind of further that, 50 points on 28,000 is 1/10 of 1%. So the market opened down 1/10 of 1%. So that's a little bit different to me and perhaps to the marketplace and how the marketplace hears things than the market is set to open down sharply, and what that may feel like and what that may be interpreted as. So unfortunately, after the market opened and it opened down 50 points on 28,000, there was no follow-up that said, yes, the market opened down, and mathematically that resulted in being down 1/10 of 1%. So it just kind of made me think, and I think it's important for people that are in tune with their planning, in tune with their money, to realize that there's going to be words that are used, perhaps words that are used out of context, that need to be understood before in which a decision or a direction is decided upon. See, because many people that are not in the professional business of helping folks with their planning and with their money will not necessarily use the appropriate words to represent what they're trying to say, because there's a lack of experience, a lack of understanding, a lack of education. And so one should not necessarily know which words to use if there's no understanding, education, or experience. And so, but it evokes a certain feeling, a certain understanding, a certain perception, and oftentimes it plays to worry, doubt, and concern. And when it plays to worry, doubt, and concern, it gathers people's interests, or it grabs their attention, and it makes them want to expand on it, and it plays to their psyche in the way that they would go to the professional who's been helping them with their planning and almost question or ask about certain things that have been done or about to be done. And it's very, very concerning from my perspective, because this is the line of work that I'm in, and I do this every day, and I spend a tremendous amount of time and commitment and ongoing education back to the work that we do to better understand it, so that we can educate clients, we can provide valuable insight, we can provide valuable questions that would allow for people to determine what it is that they want. See, because a lot of people don't truly understand what it is that they want, and we don't feel like we should be telling people what it is that they want. We should be helping people self-discover and determine what it is that they want. And then based on the feedback and the objectives and what's important to the people that we work with, we're then able to educate them around how to fulfill, how to execute, how to implement those important planning strategies, objectives, and plans. So I just wanted to spend a little bit of time today talking about language, and it's going to be every day that you're going to be hearing different words being used that are going to drive deep into your sense of feeling, your sense of thought process, grab your attention, probably play to a somewhat negative connotation, because oftentimes negative connotation will sell more than positive connotation. And what's being put out there by way of mass communication is something that's trying to draw people's attention, because once you draw people's attention, then you're able to sell to them, market to them. And so it's just important that our listeners here today think about this conversation, think back to a situation today or recently that they've gone through to relate to this, because we could all relate to it. I can relate to it outside of the business that I run and the business that we provide and the services that we offer. It could apply to conversations that we're having with spouse, children, friends, family members. But language is so strong and so critical, and the words that we use make a difference. So I just think it's important to be aware of that, give some strong consideration, and don't get caught up in a lot of the hype and a lot of the misuse of words as it relates to an actual situation. And so for all those listeners, this is Justin Bennett signing off on Your Optimal Personal Economy. Feel free to check us out at bennettfg.com, and look forward to talking to you on next episode.
Justin Bennett, registered representative of Park Avenue Securities, LLC, PAS, OSJ Northeast Planning Corporation, 1150 Raritan Road, Suite 201, Cranford, New Jersey, 07016, 908-709-0020. Securities products offered through PAS, member FINRA SIPC. Financial representative of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, Guardian, New York, New York. PAS is a wholly owned subsidiary of Guardian. Bennett Financial Group LLC is not an affiliate or subsidiary of PAS or Guardian. California Insurance License Number 0H88104. This podcast is for informational purposes only. Guest speakers and their firms are not affiliated with or endorsed by PAS, Guardian, or Bennett Financial Group LLC, and opinions stated are their own.
2020-109435, expiry 10 of 22.